Man, you know what? I don't know how to feel about this one because in all honesty, I've never really paid ABBA and Preach any, like I don't know. I don't know why they're popular. And that's not a knock. I'm not like saying like I don't see it. I'm just saying like I honestly don't know why they are popular. But when I watch, I've seen like a handful of their videos throughout the years that I've seen them online, seen them in, doing content. And like I said, I always just thought they were like goofy, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I never knew what they did. And then recently, when I started making content, some of their content or more of their content started popping up because they were like, let me put it like this. I thought they were anti-red pill, right? Like, but a part of me, because I would hear how they talked and I would see their audience, you know what I'm saying? Like when I would look on the comments and stuff, I was like, man, they got a lot of guys. And you guys know how I feel. If you are anti-red pill, if you are, the only way for you to have a large male following is to lie to men. You know what I'm saying? Like men love when you lie to men. So I was like, whatever. I just kind of brushed it off. And recently, I saw, like I said, I saw a few more of their like anti-red pill, like they would be talking about red pillars. And it seemed more like, now looking at it, it looks more like a personal beef than it does, like an ideological beef. Because I came across this video and I'm like, huh? Like, what the fuck? How are you, like going at red pill dudes and then talking like this? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
You are a 4 at best.
Guys aren't meant to see this many hot bitches.
Back in the olden days, they would see 200 baddies in their whole life. And now
in
it's
their
like
whole life.
In their whole life. And now it's like they are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have conversations with my guy friends where I need to check them, where I'm like, you need to check yourself. They'll be like, oh, well, her hair wasn't perfect, or she didn't have like veneers. So I just didn't. And I'm like, you are a 4 at best. Like, this is insane. You think that you have access. You actually, they're so delusional. They think that they can.
How the tables turn. It's because we do have access. Because you guys just throw it out like nothing. You guys are on Instagram with nothing but a thong on, so we know what everybody look like.
What? See, that's red pill rhetoric. Like, because some women are online throwing it out there or whatever you want to say, then that means that women are doing, like, the average woman is out here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not understanding the context of this, because when people say stuff like you guys, them, they, us, I take that to mean like the majority, right? So to me, he's saying you guys, which he's talking about women. And then when he's talking about us, he's talking about men. So he's talking about the average woman, the average man. The average man does not have access to an Instagram woman. Like a woman on Instagram. And when I say that, I'm saying like an Insta baddie. Like, the average man doesn't have access to an Insta baddie. And when I'm saying access, what I'm saying is they the only way that they can get a woman like that is if she is, a sex worker and he pays for her services. The average man, the average man doesn't have access to Insta. In the day and age when we know that 18 to 35-year-old men, like a third of them just like don't have access to any women, you are now turning around and saying like, oh yeah, no, we do have access. Who? What are you talking about? And mind you, never mind. This is what I'm like, this is goofy ass red pill rhetoric, right? This is straight up 100% goofy red pill rhetoric. Silly as fuck.
Nobody hide nothing. Half y'all go outside, and when y'all go to them parties, your booty cheeks hanging out.
Half of y'all go outside going to parties with your booty cheeks hanging out. These two gentlemen look like they're in their mid-30s, if I had to guess. Are you talking about 22-year-old women? 25-year-old women? At best, I'm saying. Like, what 35-year-old woman is going outside with half her ass cheeks out? And I don't give a fuck if they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't judging them. I'm just saying, like, what are you talking about? What women, what are you talking about, bro? What? You old as fuck. Like, at your age and not your shoe size, fam. What are you talking about?
The titties hanging out your turtlenecks, which I'm going to say. Do we have access? Yeah. Half of you ladies complain about the fact that y'all date deadbeat and broke. Half y'all talk about you date ain't shit niggas. Oh, you was stigmatized or whatever. Yeah, y'all give people access all the time. How do I always see really hot women with ugly? Okay. So how you gonna whine all this time about it and then be like, why you guys act like it? Yes, because even average dudes get access to hot women. I would know. I'm average.
Now, this dude, I don't know his name. I don't know if he's Abba or Preach, right? But sir, physically, you may be average, right? Physically, you may be average. I will agree. I think you're an average looking man physically. But you are extremely well known. You have a lot of social cachet and you make a lot of money. So you're not average. You're not. You're the average man. You're the average man. You make a high six figures, like at least mid. You know what I'm saying? Like $400,000 or $500,000 a year. Even if you split the money with a crew and all of that shit, y'all still bringing in $400,000 to $500,000 a year a piece off of your page. Like let's be fucking for real. So what are you talking about? The average? What? You're not the average man. You're not the average man when you take everything in totality. He's saying the average man has access to hot chicks. They don't. Not only does the average man not have access to quote unquote hot chicks, the average man doesn't have access to the average woman. Especially the men between the ages of 18 and 35. Dude, I don't know about the vast majority. A large percentage of those men don't have access to any women. And it doesn't go, they don't have access to any women to having access to all the women. It goes, they don't have, a third has zero access, and another 20% only has limited access, and another 20% has decent access. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. There's levels to that shit. It's a very small percentage of men that have access to quote unquote hot chicks, as you would say. This is just a lie. And then the way that he's trying to frame it is like, oh, you know, it's all these insta baddies online showing their titties and turtlenecks and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, how old are you? Are you a child? Like, what are y'all talking about? This is crazy.
Handsome, great time. God bless him. Not always worth the ride, but hey, I paid for admission. I'm going again. All right. So I'm just saying, you're a 4. Yeah, 4's tense. It happens all the time because women don't always fuck dudes because they're hot. Sometimes they fuck because they got personality.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because women they're not as shallow as men or shallow, to be honest with you. So I want that's the difference. If you, this is the difference in a red pillar would have said, sometimes women, hunch men because they make a lot of money. He said, oh no, it's rooted in their personality. A lot of it has to do with the man's personality, which I agree, which women will tell you, yeah, I fuck guys because they laugh. They'll be like, oh, they laugh me out my panties and all that shit. Fine. We acknowledge that. That's the slight difference. That's the delineation in from red pill rhetoric to Abba and Preach rhetoric. But ultimately, it's the same rhetoric. It's the same rhetoric of blaming women, shaming women, and then absolving men of their behavior. Right at the end of the day, trying to shame women, blame women, and then falsely accuse these women of being like the female red pill. Like this is not female red pill content.
But he made me laugh. And also, like, being hot is no longer special because y'all have not made it special. Plastic surgeries, you guys have all figured out the Instagram looks. You guys all oversell how much you guys are good looking in pictures. And then we get in place and you guys like don't match it. So like the commodity of hotness is so accessible. I go on my phone, I see it every day. If I pay for $5, I see the half.
You see it, but you don't have access to it. You see the women, but you actually can't. Like the average man still can't touch that woman. Yeah, you can see it. Like we have access to everything. We're not desensitized. Like here's what I'm saying. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I grew up watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, right? Just because I got to see rich people on yachts, just because I got to see rich people eat $10,000 beluga caviar, whatever the hell they was eating, whatever that shit is called. But I don't know what that shit, not beluga, that's the whale, but whatever caviar they were eating, fine, right? Like, yes, I got to see that. That doesn't mean that I actually had access to it though. right? That's the misconception. Men actually think because they can see these women that they have access to these women, and that's a thing that fucks men's minds up. Because yes, they see a bunch of Insta baddies, they watch a bunch of corn, and their brains are all fried, and they think, oh, this is what real women are like. Not real. This is what regular, everyday, average women are like, and that's what he's saying right now. His brain has been fried by corn, by sex workers, right? He clearly consumes a ton of sex worker content. And now his brain is fried. And he thinks, oh, this is the average woman and yada, yada, yada. Also, he has access to these women. So he's really fucked up. He really is delusional.
Them naked if I want. So it's just like, I could get it for free all day long. Why would hotness be special? We've devalued things. Well, these ladies are arguing and they're getting mad because dudes don't value it anymore.
You have access. They're so delusional. They think that
They're
they
so
can
fucking delusional.
bag like these hot girls because there's so many hot girls on Instagram.
And then they do them dirty because you think you're going to get another batter, which it's like at one point we all start to even out, but also at the same time.
Okay, so first off, she said we were delusional for being able to bag them. Now she's saying, yeah, you guys did bag them, and then you try to upgrade to another bag. So what is it? Can we not get them, or can we get... Even in the same video, she contradicts herself.
She's just saying, because she's acknowledging that it can happen, but even when it does happen, the men who gain access to the women still smoke it off. They still fuck it up. That's what she's saying.
She said we're delusional. Then she said, no, you guys do bang them, but you do them dirty. Well, how do you think we even got to do them dirty? Because we've gotten a few of them. you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like the delusional talk I hear.
No, it's the entitlement. You did them dirty because you are entitled, and you feel like you start to listen to idiots like this guy, right? This is what happens. A bunch of stupid men, they get access to a woman that they'll never. And okay, let me. Okay, a bunch of stupid men get access to a once in a lifetime woman for them, right? And they fuck it up, right? Because they fail for the trap of listening to a dummy like him, thinking like, or talking like, oh, there's a bunch of them. You could just throw a stick and hit one or whatever, when in reality you can't, right? Okay, fine. But then think about how many men will tell you that they fumbled a baddie a long time ago, and they're trying to get back. They're trying to find that woman. Is that like, that is very common to hear, that men are still chasing. Men be chasing the ghost, the ghost of a girl from the 12th grade. This nigga is 48. Like, what are you talking about? That is straight from men's mouths. They're like, oh man, yeah, man, I messed up. I fucked it up with Allie 30 years ago or whatever. I fucked it up with Cindy 50 years ago or whatever the fuck, like, and I just never recovered. She got my heart. I ain't never recovered from that. No other woman's gonna ever get my heart. Yes, these are the same men. But here you go talking about, yeah, because we can get them anytime you can't. Also, these are the same men that come in my comment section when I'm talking about my experiences with women, and they'll call me a Chad or a super Chad or a Tyrone or whatever the fuck, and be like, but public, that's your story. You've never experienced life of an average man, of a 4, of a 5. You're right. You're right. I haven't experienced the life of a 4 or a 5. I haven't, whatever that means. Obviously, if you're saying that you and me aren't, our physical attractiveness is on a different level, right? And you think I'm more attractive than you, and you're saying that the reason why my experiences were with women was thus, and it is rooted in the fact that I look better than you do, objectively, right? Like conventionally, whatever you want to say, right? Like it's the same men. Like the men be all over the place. So on one hand, the average man, the 4 man, he got access to all of this vagina, and he can get any woman he wants, right? Then on the flip side, when they talk to me, and I'll be talking about how women pay for me to go out on dates often, how women came up to me, approached me so many times to come to talk to me. Oh, I really think you're cute. Oh, I really think you're attractive. I'm interested in you. When I talk about that, and I'm bringing that up to be like, yeah, women aren't stingy. They spend money on men all the time. Women aren't too proud to approach a man if they feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? If you look approachable, right? I've had this conversation, and that's the pushback I get. It's like, no, that's just you. No, that's just men like you. You're a Chad. You're a Tyrone. Okay. But simultaneously, I'm supposed to believe that every average man just has access to the most baddest, most attractive women on the planet now. Okay. Bet.
You're red pillars. Oh, these women think because they're fucking hot, they're just gonna get shit in life. And it's gonna be yeah.
And then they turn around and get shit. Like, oh, you got to get your money up. You got to get, because as a value man, you get this and that and that. And then you have to get real estate. You got to get a big car. Why? To get those women that want that.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Or they'll complain about these women, and then, Walter will get her pregnant. Just saying. So it's just like, this sounds like the red pill energy. This is that same anger, okay? So I want y'all to look at these women with that same energy of like, you guys look at the red pill.
It's not the red pill. It's the red tampon.
What are they saying, though? Like, how is it? You think they're contradicting themselves? Like, I'm not understanding. What are they saying? Once again, let's use the woman the woman that Myron got pregnant. She was an SW. She was paid for her services. That's what I'm saying. By a man that's not an average man. He is a below average looking man. Don't get me wrong. Or he might be an average looking man. I don't know. He's an average man. He's an average looking man, but he is above average. He's above average financially. So he has resources and he has access to a bunch of money, right? And that's how he got that woman pregnant, was by paying her to sleep with him. That's how it happened. Jesus Christ. So he's not average. That's not average.
There you go.
That's far.
Yeah, I was going to say pink pill, but red tampon.
No, red, because if you don't take the pill, then you're on the tampon.
Got you.
This is my thing. I always say your resume is trash on paper and in real life.
Exactly.
Your resume is trash for you to be talking like this, sounding like this, and acting like you have so many options available to you.
No, it's crazy.
And right back to you went right back.
Oh my God.
You went from you don't have the options to, well, you have them and you fuck them.
That's not what she's saying. Like, it's funny listening to this because the men that are going to be, that's in these dudes' comments or whatever, like, yeah, these dumbass women or so. Like, the women are right. They're actually giving you the game per the usual. Listen to what the women are saying. They're telling you, men, you need to respect the women and treat them better. I'm just boiling it down. She's saying you guys have limited options. If and when you get access to a baddie, you need to treat her with the reverence that she deserves, right? You should treat all women like that, but you should treat the baddies like that, right? You shouldn't believe what these dummies are telling you, which is, oh, you're going to get another one because you got this one, you're going to get another one. You're probably not. That's what the women are saying. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That sounds like a sound message.
Right back to you ain't got no options. Wow. It's a double contradiction. It's crazy.
First of all, you can't look like that and have a trash resume and expect to bag a 10 every time. You're funny. You're not that funny.
Look how angry they are.
Yeah.
You know what this anger is? You know what I think this is? This is when
a tampon.
This is what happened. Even though they're like, oh, you think you can bang a 10? You know what this is? This is when you sleep with a hot girl, realize her personality is dog shit, so you leave her, and she's like, you ever think you're gonna get a bitch as hot as me? Fuck you, loser. You got a little dick anyways. Yeah. And it's just this bitch messaging you by herself. There's nobody else replying, just her in your chat, just leaving.
Is this common? Once again, this is shit that I've never experienced. Is this my super Chad fucking Tyrone abilities come? Like, what are you talking about? He just made this shit up. Like, what are you talking about? Why? Why would that happen? Y'all don't care about women's personalities. Stop fucking lying. You found out her personality was dog shit. What do you mean? What do you mean you found out her personality was dog shit? You didn't know that before you slept with her? You didn't care to get to know her before you slept with her. You sleep with her, and then you find out her personality is dog, quote unquote dog shit. Based on what? What do you mean? What are you basing that on? What is the criteria for a dog shit personality woman? I would love to know. It's just making up shit.
I'm never gonna call you again. Or you're not even gonna reply. You're a fucking coward. I've had that before. Yes. And it's just like, yo, ma, like, we went on 3 dates. I didn't even sleep with you. I just don't like you. They mad.
And I like you even less.
And here's what they say. They said it's even more offensive because you're ugly.
Yes. I heard
right?
that.
So their ego
heard
can't
that.
take the fact that someone they perceive.
Show us the text. Show us the text. You got him. I'm sure you got him. It's happened to you before. You said it's via text message. Show us the text. I would love to see him. Scratch out her name. Show us the text messages, please.
As being below them, discarded them in a way. It's not. It's like we're not vibing, yo.
It's okay. It's not. There's a thing where I notice that people have a hard time to think. They think that everybody is gonna like them. They have a hard time understanding that it's a possibility that there's some people that don't like you, and you actually have nothing to do with that. They just don't like you. They don't like certain things about you, and you know what? It's okay. It will happen. Mm-hmm. Some people are not everybody's cup of tea. And even when you're a tea, well, some people don't even like tea. Like, you know what I mean?
It's crazy how I just got done doing a whole lie pretty much about how men can't take rejection. And then they hear men wagging their finger at women like as if they're the ones who have a problem taking rejection. Very, very gaslighty. Very gaslighty.
It's like, you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Yup.
And then, when you are, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to please everybody. Okay,
Coconuts in Barbados.
Gotcha. You could be like, oh my god, I'm the ripest, sweetest mango. Some motherfuckers don't like mangoes, and it's okay.
Yep.
Move on. But some people can't take that. Me, you don't like all this. Like he can't get that shit. You know what I mean?
I had one girl, one of the funniest dates. We went on this date.
Oh, what?
She just didn't look interested.
She didn't look interested?
Just the date was just dull as. So halfway through the date, I'm like, yo, listen, I'll walk you back to the metro. And I got to metro. I'm like, hey, listen, I had a good time, but I feel like we just don't have much chemistry. So
was she hot?
Yeah. And she was kissed by fire.
She was kissed by fire.
Yeah, ginger.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the nerd version.
I thought you didn't like gingers.
I don't, but
you say you never.
If the titty's racked enough, you know what I mean? We taking it off the shelf. So I seen the girl, I was like, yo, whatever, man.
Come on. What the fuck? Okay. Abba and Preach, I want you guys to tell me what's the difference between y'all and Red Pill niggas. Like I said, it just seems like you guys are extremely misogynistic. You talk about women in the same demeaning tone that Red Pill men do. What, because you don't like Passport Bros or you don't like Myron and them because whatever fucking reason? I'm not understanding what is the difference. Like, you guys agree with them more than you disagree with them. You agree with them more than you do. Everything you guys are saying, they would agree to this. They wouldn't disagree with anything that they wouldn't disagree with much with much of what you guys are saying.
So as a tittyologist, I didn't discriminate, and we at the end of the date, I was just like, no, I'm feeling it. It's fine.
Picture this, breast specialist,
bro. So I leave. This girl sends me a novel. She's like, "Yo, what do you mean? How you gonna just assume I wasn't interested?" I was like, "You were like pulling up your phone. You weren't engaging with the conversation much." Like, you know what? I don't let people gaslight me into thinking my intuition's wrong. Like, I know what interest looks like. I know what disinterests look like. I'm not crazy. But it's so obvious. So to me, I'm like, why are you tripping, right? And then afterwards, I was just like, yo, it's fine. Like, you did this, it's cool. Like, I'm not tripping. It happened. Like, I don't think we had a match.
But she didn't run.
And then she kept getting mad, and she kept like texting. And I'm like, yo, what's this really about? And she's like, I just didn't like the fact that you rejected me. I was like, yeah. What do you mean? She's like, no one's ever done that. I was like, are you?
Show us the text messages, sir. Show it to us. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but just show it to us. Come on. Show it to us. I'll believe you. Hey, man, right now, I don't believe you. But if you show it to me, I mean, I believe. You can't be like, here's like, it wouldn't be that. I'm just curious. What did it look? What did the whole conversation look like? Very, very curious.
Serious.
That's what I was about to say.
So it's like, yeah, was she hotter than me? Absolutely. Did I care? Not really. No. Because here's the thing. Hotness is only as valuable as the scarcity within your own experiences. Meaning, the only people who see hotness and truly value it are the people who've experienced the scarcity of it, never really got to be with it, touch it. So they don't realize skin is skin. The ugly girl and the hot girl could have a same level personality, same level, you know.
Then why don't you go after less attractive women then? Seems like you pretty much try to go after quote unquote hot women. That's what it seems like.
Make you feel loved and whatever. So at the end of the day, beyond the hotness itself and the aesthetic of the pleasing and the social aspect, it don't really have the value that we put on it. You know what I mean? A mid girl who works out and takes care of herself oftentimes will probably make you feel just as good, if not better, in most of your day-to-day life as a really hot woman. It's not, but if you haven't experienced it, it's like telling a virgin.
A mid girl that works out every day. So you mean a hot girl? That's a hot girl. What do you mean? What mid woman works out every, like, she's not mid. Like, what do you, I don't even talk like that, but what? A mid woman that works out every day, she's hot. That sounds like a hot woman to me.
Like, sex is not a big deal. It doesn't matter to them because they've not experienced it. They're not going to believe you. They need to go through it.
The 25 to like 30-year-old guys, I'm almost 36.
Yeah.
Those guys are excited to go out with me. They will plan the date. They will go the extra mile and they have this like young fun. They want to impress me. It's the guys who are my age and older that feel kind of jaded. Like they're just like, yeah, let's go on a walk. Fuck your walk, man.
Oh,
Yeah, because they're dead inside. You know how much, when you approach a girl, she's like, ugh, what? That's the same feeling. These guys, they've been around and they've been disappointed, and they're like, oh, what is it? You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, the dating thing is really that. You see what she said? She said these guys are excited. They're planning. All the burden is on them. You're just so what we're doing. So all the burden, after so many years of the burden of this, the burden being on you and getting rejected and shit is not working. And why am I doing this still? All right, let's go. Let's go to the back. They're gonna be like that. Just like whenever you go to a girl and she's like, oh my God, I'm really just trying to study here. What do you want? I think it's the same thing.
How is it the same thing when the man is the one that's approaching the woman the majority of the time? So how can he approach her and then act like he's over it? That doesn't make any sense. It's not the same thing. If a man approaches a woman and she didn't ask for him to approach her, then I would understand why, she would be like, ugh. But if he approaches her and then is unenthusiastic, that would be weird. Like imagine approaching a woman and be like, yo, put your number in the phone. Or approaching a woman and being like, how was your day? I don't really care. Like, what? No, that would be weird. That's what she's saying. She's like, why? Like, that's odd that you guys are acting like this, and it's a turnoff.
But yeah. I love it. I love it that they say guys are super delusional because they think they can. You ask girls, not all the girls, but what we see out there is that you guys want to date the same kind of dude. You got the tears right there, and y'all yeah, but not me. I'm not talking to you then. Okay, shut up. Y'all mostly want to date this right here, right? And y'all think you can have that. Oh my God, he has to do 6-7 figures. Ooh, a bus driver, a truck driver. It's the same thing. If you're calling guys something,
most average women don't have a problem dating a bus driver or a truck driver. Well, maybe not a truck driver. Them niggas live different lives. But most average women don't have a problem dating those types of men. There you guys go. This is red pill rhetoric. This diagram or whatever the fuck this is, this chart that you guys right here, this is red pill bullshit. That's red pill propaganda. That 80% of women are dating 20%, the top 10 or 20% of men are fine. That is red pill rhetoric. That's red pill rhetoric. Straight off. It's based on a dating site. It's not even, most women aren't even on dating sites. It's shit is bullshit.
This right here, right? And y'all think you can have that. Oh my God, he has to do 6-7 figures. Ooh, a bus driver, a truck driver. It's the same thing. If you're calling guys something, the girls are the equivalent but in something else. Okay?
They're not.
I don't even know if that's true anymore, too. I mean, when I walk around this city, I see so many average dudes with hot chicks. It happens every.
Because there's more hot chicks than hot dudes.
Me, when I just hear these two talk and the anger they do it with, it's just like, you got rejected by a dude who you thought was beneath you, and that shit just stung. I've never looked at a woman who I think it's even corny to talk like that, but like was less attractive. And then went, oh, you're not interested in me?
You've been talking like that this whole fucking time. Now you think it's corny to talk like that? You've been calling women mid. You've been talking about fucking this woman, it was hotter than you, or she was hot, talking about her rack, she's racked up, but now you're what?
Q. Like, why would you get mad?
I've heard that. I've heard that a number of times where girls said, "Oh my God, he rejected me," and the worst thing is that he was ugly. Like I've heard that so many
Y'all stay lying.
times.
But
I've heard that discourse a lot of times.
you've even heard the inverse. Guy goes to a woman, she says not interested. Well, you ugly anyway, bitch.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah. That I've seen, that I've heard many a times. The other way around, not saying it's never happened. Rare as fuck.
Corny.
It's the same thing.
And that's
I've heard women say they were done wrong by a nigga that they went out of their way to give a chance to, and then they'll like jokingly they're like, he was ugly. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Or he was broke. Like they'll say that because they're like a lot of times women fall for the propaganda too, right? Which is like, oh, the reason why you can't find love is because you're not giving broke ugly niggas a chance. And then they go, okay, I'll give a broke ugly man a chance. They give a broke ugly man a chance, and then he lets him down almost every single time.
That's what I said.
Oh, she's so ugly that what the fuck was you doing asking for her validation? What is you?
And that's what I said. Whenever you're pissed at women for something, men do the equal shit on the other side. It's like it's the same thing. You're gonna find the equivalent. We're not that different. We are, but we're not.
Even in your scenario, how is the equivalency? How is it equivalent? Because the men will tell the women to their face, oh, you ugly B word. And the women will tell other people, allegedly, but other people, when the man isn't there, they're not telling the man that to his face. They're not calling the man ugly to his face or even via text or anything like that. They're not. Like this, I don't know, Abba or Preach, the other one, the taller one, he's lying. Show me the text, bro. Show us the text. I'll believe it. Show me the text and I'll believe it. But as of now, you cannot convince me that any of that shit, any of those fucking fables you was telling, them nigga-theticals, I don't believe any of them. Not one.